Headline News. South Ribble Borough Council's budget agreed on. Hello, you're watching Headline News. I'm Jasmine Jackson and a very warm welcome to the programme. South Ribble Borough Council's Cabinet Member for Finance and Assets has reflected on the key findings that came out of the budget the authority agreed upon. Following this agreement, residents will see a 1.9% increase in their portion of council tax, which is the equivalent of 9p more a week for a Band D property. Councillor Wesley Roberts spoke to That's TV about what this means for residents, as well as how investments in parks and affordable homes will better support communities.
We've got a really ambitious plan in our corporate strategy, and we've got parks, we've got housing, and lots of other stuff. Now, in terms of council tax, I think a lot of residents don't necessarily understand how council tax works, and the government assume that we're going to put council tax up, and if we don't, then we lose money. So ultimately, it's a double-edged sword. Now, we took the decision to put council tax up by 1.9%, which is half the rate of inflation. A lot of people use the rate of September when making budgets, and that's what we decided to do. But we don't want to cut services. We want to still look out for most deprived and pockets of deprivation in South Ribble, and that's what it's going to allow us to do. There's 750 people, families on the housing waiting list in South Ribble that are identified in categories A, B, and C that are not in adequate accommodation, and we're committed as a council to invest in families, invest in homes where it's appropriate, and we'll never develop on the green belt. It's not in our local plan, but we've put aside £1 million this year to invest in housing, so we'll continue to do that. Alongside the great projects that we've got around Jubilee Gardens, which has seen 75 people have the opportunity to move into a greater facility. One thing that I didn't get a chance to mention yesterday in my budget speech, which was all around unity and all around kind of community cohesion and people feeling part and proud of South Ribble. But one of the things that we're going to be doing this year is the Football World Cup, the Men's Football World Cup this year. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a project which is about celebrating all the great things in South Ribble, from school children to businesses to volunteers.
The Right Reverend of Blackburn has expressed concerns over a potential social media ban for under 16s and what this could look like for future generations. It comes as more than 60 Labour MPs called on the Prime Minister to impose a ban on under 16s access to social media platforms. Philip North spoke to That's TV about his concerns around there not being an alternative in place if social media was to be banned.
I think the ban could be quite a serious mistake, actually. Bans are simple, blunt tools that governments love to use. It's a good way of flexing power. But it seems to me if we ban teenagers from doing something, it's critical to ask another set of questions, which is what we're going to put in its place. Because, life is tough, actually, for many young people. Over the last 20, 30 years, we've seen a real erosion of the opportunities that young people have to associate and be with each other. Many parents are anxious of letting their children out of the house. We've seen a loss of youth provision and youth work. We've seen a narrowed down school curriculum. We've seen a loss of opportunities for uniformed organisations and arts and cultural opportunities, which means many young people complain about feeling lonely. They don't have the time they need with teenage friends, and that's a critical thing for young people. It's not a luxury extra. You've got to be with your friends to survive as a teenager. And I think a lot of young people use their mobiles because it's one of the few ways they've got left of interacting with friends their own age outside of a supervised environment, and because frankly there's so little else to do. So I think it raises for me two questions. First of all, if we're going to ban as adults our children from doing something, what are we going to put in its place? And I think we need a whole new deal for our young people, in which we think about the quality of their lives, in which we return some good quality youth provision, in which we think, a broadened school curriculum, and in which we think, where can our young people interact safely?
That's TV have approached the Departments for Education for their comments, and we should provide these should they respond. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson said, technology is fundamentally changing childhood. Used well, it can open up new opportunities for learning, creativity and connection, but only if we get the balance right. That is why we want to hear directly from parents, teachers and young people about how we strike that balance and give children the very best childhood in a digital age. The consultation is a vital next step. For the first time, we will also publish guidance on healthy screen time for children aged 5 to 16, giving parents the practical tools to help their children build a healthier relationship with technology from an early age. Every child deserves a childhood, real experiences, real friendships, and real opportunities. We are determined to make that a reality, both inside and outside the classroom. In other news now, an education trust is set to anchor a £45 million landmark regeneration scheme in Blackburn Town Centre. In a new report to Blackburn with Darwen Council's executive board, plans have been revealed for Star Academies to occupy the first building of the proposed Star Square development, which forms part of the town centre master plan. Commencement of the main works is estimated for early 2027, with the completion of the project being in 2028. Nail technicians, hairdressers and beauticians across Lancashire are being taught how to spot signs of domestic abuse. According to the Fylde Coast Women's Aid charity, seeing signs such as a bruise on a wrist or hair missing could help direct victims to get support. Students at Blackpool and the Fylde College have taken part in the training as part of the Nail Domestic Violence campaign, funded by the county's Police Crime Commissioner, Clive Grunshaw. Mr Grunshaw said he believed the campaign would make a difference for thousands of victims across Lancashire. And now for a quick look at the local sport, where Fleetwood Town FC's under-21s will travel to Coventry City in Professional Development League action on Friday. George Wilson put the home side ahead, but 3 second-half goals from the Terriers meant they ran out 3-1 winners on the day. The two sides are yet to play each other this season, and Friday's meeting will be a test for both sides. And now for a quick look at what's going on in your local area. The Utilita Energy Hub in Blackburn is broadening its support for residents through an expanding programme of community activities and local partnerships. These events include recent work with Whitton Wildlife, where families took part in an energy efficiency workshop exploring the link between nature and energy use. Later this month, the team will attend the Preston Expo to support regional engagement and build new community links with a number of other events in the works. A Lancashire primary school is opening up its annual litter pick to the wider community. For the second year running, St Mary's Catholic Primary School in Great Eccleston will be heading out into their local community to litter pick and raise funds for the school whilst doing so. There will be 3 litter picks on the 18th, 21st and 22nd of March. And as always, we'd love to hear what you think, so please do get in touch with your views. Or if you have a story of your own that you think should be on the show. Follow us on X, we're on @That'sTVLancs. Get in touch on Facebook by searching for That's TV Lancashire, or you can write to us by dropping an email to lancashire@thats.tv. Patients and families coping with a cancer diagnosis at Blackpool Victoria Hospital will now receive extra support thanks to special kits funded by the hospital's charity. Macmillan Personalised Care Improvement Facilitator Kerry Bailey spoke to That's TV about how the kits will work and how they aim to better support patients impacted by cancer.
So our Blue Skies Hospital charity have funded 45 kits sourced from a charity to support our patients with a cancer diagnosis to have difficult conversations with their children. So the resources are all age appropriate. Some of them have comforting teddies, body maps, and illustrations of healthcare professionals who might be in the parents' team to discuss and inform their children about what's going on, but in a less scary manner. So as my role as a personalised care lead, I'm constantly looking at gaps in our support for patients and where we can bridge those gaps and support people in a better way, given the resources and the tools in the things that they need to help make a tough time a little bit easier. So when I saw these resources, I thought, well, you know, our patients need and deserve these kits. So that's when I applied for the funding and I got these resources for our family. We want to support our patients in the most highest quality way as we can. So I want these kits to support our families in approaching conversations that they never want to be having, but to make them a bit easier at a time when they need it most.
And that's your headline news. Coming up next on That TV is your local weather.